Are we recording?
We are recording.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. Thank you for coming. First of all, I'd like to, we have a distinguished guest. Former Mayor Mueller is in the audience. Soon there'll be another former mayor sitting next to you in the audience. So thank you for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and Happy New Year. Starting tonight, calling tonight's meeting to order. Please read the sunshine notice.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the 2023 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and Bernardsville News on December 8th, 2022, and posted at the Municipal Complex and the Borough Library. Action may be taken.
Please stand for the flag salute and remain standing for our invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Reverend Wally?
From here?
Sure. Yes, thank you.
I'm sorry I have to pray and run. I am singing in this opera chorus. I left some of these on the back table. We have a new opera company in town. Don't know whether you knew that, Opera Magnifico, and their performances are coming up January 13 and 15, and yours truly will be singing in that. But as I was preparing to offer an invocation tonight, my mind was drawn to the prophet Jeremiah. And in Jeremiah 29, verse 7, we read, "Also seek the peace and prosperity of the city to which I have carried you into exile. Pray to the Lord for it, because if it prospers, you too will prosper." Indeed, we pray for the welfare of our city, our boroughs, so that they will prosper and the people within them will prosper. And I thank you to all of you who serve so faithfully in doing that. Let us pray. Come, Holy Spirit, be present with this gathering. Thank you so much for those who accept the responsibility to lead and to serve us in this community. Bless them, I pray, with wise decisions, right actions, integrity. Grant them, Lord, a spirit of harmony, working together for the good of all people within this community. Lord, bless them for their work and guide them, I pray. Be with this meeting tonight. Guide and bless. We thank you for those who have served, who are retiring and stepping off, especially Mayor Skinner. Thank you for his faithful service as both police chief and now mayor. And we pray for the incoming mayor and council. Bless them, Lord. Bless this area with your presence. For people of all faiths, may they be drawn to you and bless your name. We ask it in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend, and thank you for all the service you provide our police and fire departments and now the town. So appreciate it.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to pray at these, and I just want to say, you know, as police fire chaplain, I'm rarely called upon outside of these gatherings. But if anyone within the community, member of the church or not, needs a pastoral listing year, I want to be that chaplain for this community. So I'm here for you. God bless you.
Okay, the moment you've all been waiting for, swearing in of our new elected officials. So I'm going to turn the meeting now over to our esteemed borough attorney, John Bruder, and we'll let you take over. Thank you.
I'm going to ask you to step up front and center, and if we will have somebody come forward to hold the Bible. You're going to be facing this way. Okay. And have you repeat after me. I, Marlo Randall, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of mayor, so help me God. Congratulations. Thank you.
Amy, I had a legal question.
Just swing it, that's what I need. Okay, Mark, thanks.
Ready? I'm ready. Okay. You give somebody more time. I know. Okay. Food was good. Sure. Okay, perfect. Hey.
Okay, I'm going to have you repeat after me. First left hand on the Bible, raise your right. I state your name.
I, Eric Cortello,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the government established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of municipal council
of the office of municipal council
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
For a platform, I'm just gonna say state your name.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, our other new council member, Jill Weibel, is online because today she tested unfortunately positive for COVID. So John's going to swear her in remotely.
Okay. Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
He's here.
So I'm gonna hide the screen. You got your Bible, perfect. Okay. I'm gonna have you place your left hand on that Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me.
Okay.
I state your name.
I, Jill Weibel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of councilperson
of the office of
to the
councilperson
best of my abilities,
to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. You can sign this tomorrow, get this into Nancy.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, John.
You are.
Welcome, everyone, to the first Borough Council meeting of the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. I'm happy that you're all here. It's always nice to see people turn out for our meetings. Before we start, Greg, thank you very much for starting the meeting and turning out. I'd ask everyone, please, out of respect to the proceedings that occur tonight, to please silence your cell phones if you haven't already. Nancy, can we start with a roll call, please? And GP, I have to ask you to step down, I'm sorry.
A coup. No minor coup. Go ahead, be that way.
Thank you, Chicky.
Yeah, Jim,
All right.
push the shift button on that screen.
Council.
Every, like, 10
My new
minutes.
role? Great.
Ready when you are, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich.
Here.
Councilman Lemma.
Here.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Here.
Councilman Cortello.
Here.
Councilman Sweeney.
Here.
Councilwoman Weibel.
Here.
Mayor Corliano.
Here.
Wow, I'm not last anymore.
Okay. Tonight, everyone, we have an interesting and a little bit different agenda. It's typically not a long meeting. We're going to start with 2 proclamations that we'd like to share with you. Then we'll have comments from the newly elected officials, comments from the incumbent officials, and then we have a agenda that we go through pretty rapidly, and you'll learn a little bit about how we work. After that, we adjourn. We have a very fast 5-minute Board of Health meeting, initializing our Board of Health for 2023. And then we have a reception afterwards in honor of Mayor Skinner and Councilman Caminiti. So, in order to start, I'd ask that Gianpaolo Caminiti, GP, would you please join me up front here? Excuse me.
Thank you.
So this is a proclamation honoring Gianpaolo GP Caminiti for his dedicated service as councilperson to the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. Whereas GP is a resident of the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone in the county of Somerset, New Jersey, where he has lived since 1969 and successfully raised his children, Johannes, Martin, Nicolo, and Andino, and where his mother still resides. Whereas GP has been deeply involved in the PEAPACK and Gladstone community since that time, having attended PEAPACK and Gladstone Elementary School from 1st to 8th grade. Where JP continued his education at the Bernards High School and furthered his education at Seton Hall University and the University of Bielefeld and Marburg in Germany. Whereas JP's involvement as a dedicated volunteer and public servant here in PEAPACK and Gladstone has been instrumental to the betterment of this community. Whereas GP has honorably served on the borough's Environmental Commission for 4 years and the borough's Land Use Board for 9 years, and he also served as Land Use Board Chairman. Whereas in November 2013, the voters of the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone elected GP to the Borough Council, where from 2014 to 2022 he has honorably served 3 terms. Now therefore be it resolved that the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone Council, on behalf of all the PEAPACK and Gladstone residents, does hereby declare our appreciation and profound gratitude to Gianpaolo Caminiti for a job well done, for the grace, professionalism, and dedication with which he has served in the public interest, and be it further resolved that the mayor and council recognize and honor Gianpaolo Caminiti for his many sterling contributions to the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. I, as mayor of the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone, on behalf of my fellow council members, do wish to thank GP for all he has done to make the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone a better place to live. This is a little token. Thanks. Of all the students.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you kindly. Greatly appreciated.
Would you like to say something, please?
Sure. Well, anything else? Okay. Well, thank you very much. I was not expecting this. It is an honor. This is not really the honor. The honor is serving. And being a believer in term limits, I think I got to a point where I said, okay, time for some fresh blood, and that's all as it should be. But it never diminished somehow through the years. The honor never diminished. The responsibility never diminished. The importance of it, the meaningfulness, never diminished. On the contrary, I think it got stronger as the years went by. And I think that's telling us about the need for community and the need for contributing, being a part of a community. So as much as we're all individual sailors along the seas of life, we get strength through being part of a team. And this was a great team. So I appreciate that very much, and look forward to this council, new team, fresh team, different team, continuing all the progress and the good work and keeping our place the special home that it is. So thank you very much for coming out, and thank you for this. I will enjoy it. Thank you.
So I have to confess, when I wrote this proclamation, it was hard, because there were so many things to include on it, and it all had to fit on one piece of paper. And it was a challenge, but we got it done. So I'd like to invite Mayor Skinner up to join me, please. A proclamation honoring Gregory Greg J. Skinner, for his dedicated service as mayor to the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. Whereas Greg is a resident of the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone in the county of Somerset, New Jersey, having emigrated from England in the United Kingdom with his family in 1965, and where he has lived since 1970 and successfully raised his children, John and Abigail, and where his parents still reside. Whereas Greg has been deeply involved in the PEAPACK and Gladstone community since that time, having attended the PEAPACK and Gladstone Elementary School from kindergarten to 8th grade, right in this building. Further, Greg was a member of Local Scout Troop 57, obtaining the coveted rank of Life Scout. Whereas Greg continued his education at Bernards High School, serving 4 years on the student council and graduating in 1983. He furthered his education at Villanova University, from where he graduated with a degree in political science. Whereas Greg's involvement as a dedicated volunteer and public servant here in PEAPACK and Gladstone has been instrumental to the betterment of the community. And whereas Greg began his service to the borough by first joining the PEAPACK and Gladstone First Aid Squad in 1993, having held many management roles, including captain. Greg later joined the PEAPACK and Gladstone Fire Department, where he currently serves as a captain and formerly as an assistant chief. Whereas Greg joined the PEAPACK and Gladstone Police Department as a police officer in 1987, later being promoted to sergeant and then chief of police, a position he honorably served in for 14 years, retiring after a 30-year career with the department. His service to the department included many ancillary roles, including a hostage negotiator, DARE officer, 911 coordinator, and OEM coordinator. Where Greg also enlisted in the U.S. Navy Reserves, serving for 8 years, including 2 deployments to the Arabian Gulf. And whereas in November 2018, the voters of PEAPACK and Gladstone elected Greg as mayor of the borough, where he has led the borough for a 4-year term, and whereas Greg has spent a combined and impressive 42 years from the time he was a student to the end of his mayoral term in the municipal building. Now therefore be it resolved that the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone Council, on behalf of all PEAPACK and Gladstone residents, does hereby declare our appreciation and profound gratitude to Gregory J. Skinner for a job well done, for the grace, professionalism, and dedication with which he has served the public interest, and for all the countless hours he spent to enhance the safety and wellness of the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. And be it further resolved that the mayor and council recognize and honor Gregory J. Skinner for his true spirit of volunteerism and the many sterling contributions to the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. I, as mayor of the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone, on behalf of my fellow councilmen, do wish to thank Greg for all he has done to make the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone a better place to live. Thank you so much. Before we move on to the next thing, we have a little a memory for Greg. That I'd like to present. Mayor Gregory J. Skinner, for your leadership and outstanding contribution to our community in 2019 to 2022.
Wow, gavel, which I never really used.
I would like to invite Greg's sister, Sarah Johansson, and Greg's father, Mr. Skinner, up to unveil Greg's portrait on the middle wall. Will you please join us up here? Why don't you go on? Oh.
Wow, thank you. First of all, congratulations, Mayor Crigliano, on your swearing in as our new mayor. I know you're excited to hit the ground running, and I wish you all the best and much success in your new role. Thank you for all of your help, guidance, and support you have provided during my term. I've always valued your thoughts and your ideas. I want to welcome our newest members to the council, Jill virtually, and Eric to the council. Thank you for stepping up and wanting to serve our wonderful community as elected officials. So congratulations and good luck. Congratulations to my schoolmate GP for all the years of service you have provided to the borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone. As you and I both know from growing up in town, attending school in this building, and raising our families here, this really is a special place, and we finally made it out of our elementary school. Fellow council members, I'm truly honored by the proclamation you've done for me. Thank you so much. I cannot tell you how honored that I am. It has been great to work alongside of all of you for these last 4 years. We've gotten a lot accomplished in these 4 years. All of you have helped to make PEAPACK and Gladstone better off from when we started. Now it's up to you to make it even better. So good luck and go forward. As I look at my portrait, which is hanging with the 14 mayors who preceded me, and I think how this is possible. I used to eat lunch in this room when it was a cafeteria, and we dissected worms and frogs in here as it was the science room. To think only a few years later, I was back serving the borough as a police officer, and after that as mayor. I'm quite certain many of the members of the class of 1979 would not believe it if you told them that one of the 21 of them, or us, would become mayor. All of this would not have been possible without a lot of help along the way. Starting with my parents, Elizabeth and John Skinner. My dad, who just turned 96, who you just saw, is with us tonight, and unfortunately my mother could not be here tonight, but she's at home wishing me on. Thank you, Mom and Dad. You built a great foundation for me to work with, and as you just heard tonight from the Borough Council, I guess I did all right. My sister Sarah is also here. She is my biggest cheerleader and supporter, and I always know that she has my back. My children, Abigail and John, who are watching from afar tonight, have almost 20 years lived in the public's eye because of their father. As kids, growing up in a town that they had to deal with a lot, it was a little easier during my run as mayor because they were all grown up and they were on their own. But nevertheless, it was a tough job for them to do, and I appreciate their help. But of course, no one can do this job without a supportive family. So thank you, Mom, Dad, Sarah, John, and Abigail. As elected officials, we make policy and budgets. It's the borough staff who carry out the mission and provide all of the required statutory services, as well as providing for the safety and recreation to the public. They are the face of the borough to the residents and businesses because they are getting all of the jobs done. They are keeping the vital records, maintaining the budget, keeping the roads and public property in safe and good order. They are keeping the town safe from whatever tries to do us harm. They liaise with the county and state during times of disaster and helping getting things back to normal after the dust settles. They provide activities for our children and for community events, which helps make this the special place we know as home. Our borough professionals provide us with the expert guidance in areas none of us have expertise in. All of you make sure we take the proper turns in the road of governing and supporting the borough. Our volunteer first responders. They also keep us safe and pull us from harm's way when we venture too far. But they do their invaluable work at no charge. Our volunteer first responders are the best in the business, and many have been doing their thing under the radar for years, only because they get satisfaction from knowing that they make a difference for their neighbors, even if they don't know who their neighbors are. I cannot forget all of our members of the volunteer boards and commissions. All of you are definitely providing your support behind the scenes. You help maintain our open space, which keeps our town beautiful, watch over our growth to ensure the town can handle it, keep our small but world-class library going, maintain a link between our past and future. The list goes on and on. Thank you for all you do. And finally, to the residents of PEAPACK and Gladstone. 4 years ago, you had a choice in who to pick as your mayor. You decided to give me your trust and your awesome responsibility to represent you as mayor. I never lost sight of that, and I thank you for that privilege. I hope I have lived up to my end of the contract. Thank you very much.
So now we're going to move on to council comments. We'll start with the newly elected officials, and then other members of the council, and it looks like I start on this one. So My voice tends to get raspy after I speak a lot in public, so if you can't hear me, please tell me. These words are important. The swearing in of Jill, Eric, and myself tonight is indeed a solemn and significant occasion. We have come to take the swearing-in tradition for granted, as similar proceedings routinely occur on all levels of government. The orderly transfer of authority is a process directed by our Constitution, and its significance should not be overlooked. It is an honorable tradition that goes back for nearly 250 years. It is not common to all governments, democratic or otherwise, and demonstrates how civil, just, and virtuous our society can be and is. It is indicative of the unique people that we as Americans are, and I hope you all appreciate the meaning of what just occurred as much as I do. I am honored to have been selected by my fellow townspeople as your mayor. It is a position I take most seriously and in which I shall strive to do my absolute best, serving a town I am truly passionate about. I commit to management of our local government with integrity, professionalism, and accountability. I'm dedicated to continuing the work I did as a council person and council president. That is, to ensure we continue to enjoy the safe, attractive, and affordable place we all call home. I fully appreciate how hard this work is, and I'm up to the challenge. I'm not daunted by the office and shall live up to its demands. I can wholly assure you that the fine folks sitting here in the dais are fiercely committed to these same objectives as well. I've worked with the incumbent council members for years and know them well. I've also gotten to know Eric and Jill over the last 10 months and believe we can expect the same from them. We have worked well together in a cooperative, civil, and nonpartisan way, and expect that we will continue to do so going forward. This interaction and reaching a democratic consensus when we do disagree is one of the highlights of my work as a council member. I'm so very appreciative of the many people and groups that allow me the privilege of public service and with whom I serve, so please indulge me as I extend my gratitude. First, to Mayor Greg Skinner. Greg took our government to a new level, and I can unequivocally say that the most recent council I served on under Greg was the best in my 9 years as a council member. Greg leaves big shoes for me to fill. Thank you, my colleague and friend. Second, to Giampaolo or GP Caminiti. GP and I formerly served on the Land Use Board, ran together in 2013 for council, and then ran 2 subsequent times thereafter. We saw eye to eye on most issues, but when we didn't, we were able to rationally come to harmony. GP, I shall miss your insight and working with you very, very much. Mille grazie. My thanks to the incumbent council members sitting here. It has been an honor and privilege to work with all of you, and I look forward to doing so going forward. My thanks also to Tim Howes and Karen Sweeney, who encouraged my running for mayor and supported that effort. A shout out to my co-workers in the borough. That is our incredible administration and staff, led by Administrator Nancy Bretzker and her department heads. From our stellar police force, to DPW, to finance, and all the other departments that toil in the background, my heartfelt thanks. Thanks to our borough volunteers, especially those in the emergency services, fire and first aid. You all serve with excellence and save our residents not only from disasters, but from a great financial burden should we have to pay for the services you so unselfishly provide. Thank you as well to our committee volunteers, from the Land Use Board to Recreation to Historic Preservation and all those in between. Your efforts are so valued and appreciated. Thanks to our borough professionals, from our attorneys John Bruder and Roger Thomas, along with Bill Wright and John Zabo and others. Your professional and sage guidance helps keep us on track and keeps PG the very special town that it is. Thank you very much to our residents and taxpayers. Not one of us ever forgets that the taxes you pay, either directly or indirectly, are earned post-income tax dollars that you work hard to afford. Be assured that your mayor, council, and borough employees all work diligently to keep PG affordable and manage costs pragmatically. Know that this task is not easy in spite of us being a small town with a smaller tax base. We are still statutorily required to provide the same essential services and oftentimes more as our larger neighbors. We are constantly working to do more with less. Lastly, my deepest thanks and love to my wife, Carolyn. Make no mistake that I could not nearly be as effective in my work here if it were not for the unconditional and unwavering support from this remarkable woman. Carolyn knows best how to support me in my borough work, whether it be bringing dinner to my desk unasked as I work on timely borough matters, or simply calming me when confronting a troubling issue. Indeed, like all of us in one way or another, I have my eccentricities, as you all know, and my love in life and best friend know how to handle it with grace and give me balance. Thank you, Carolyn. Roni. In closing, I would ask that everyone not lose sight of the significance of what we do here. Through our actions, we contribute to the political history of our great nation, and change indeed does start on Main Street. If we should see areas in higher government that could use improvement, know that the examples of good governance exhibited here in PEAPACK and Gladstone do indeed have an influence on how higher government operates. Have faith in America, her best days are yet to come. Thank you for attending this evening, residents, staff, volunteers, friends, and family. I speak for all my colleagues when I say that your presence here means so much to all of us. So, to my colleagues on the dais, onward and forward, let's get to work. I'd like to invite Eric Cortello to...
Thank you. I don't know how to follow Mayor Skinner and Mayor Cortiliano, but I'm sure I'll be brief. All right, so it's, for me, it's an honor to be a member of this council. It's really very grateful for this opportunity, and I want to thank the residents for making this a reality and, for their support. It's truly a privilege, and it's one I hold in very high regard. PEAPACK and Gladstone is very special. It's been my home for over a decade. It's where my wife and I have decided to raise our family, and I really want to ensure during my term that I continue to maintain the traditions that make this town so unique. I want to continue our open space and historic preservation and ensure that we continue fiscal responsibility. And I'm looking forward to working with everyone. All the members in this room, I look around, this is my home, and I'm very grateful to be serving my home. And Greg and GP, thank you for your leadership and your service to this town. You both leave very big shoes to fill, so thank you.
Okay, Jill, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, Jamie, could you point that microphone towards the... yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. It's kind of an echo on my end, so I'll keep this short and sweet because most of the day today I did not have a voice. So I'm glad it miraculously came back today at the end so I can actually say something at this meeting. So I want to echo what Eric just said. I'm honored to be your elected official. I moved here in 2015 with my family, and we fell in love with this town, and we decided to make this our long-term home. And we want to preserve the beauty of this place. I wanted to get involved to make sure that things, stayed the way they were, and I know I can help improve things. I see the council, and Greg and GP, thank you for your service, and I'm just honored to be a part of this. And I know this team will work together harmoniously. Even if we have disagreements, like the team before, they seem to get through them. So I'm just honored and thankful to serve this community. And I'm also thankful for my family. I'm a mom of 2 youngest children, so I'm going to be able to make the time to really do my job as a councilwoman. So I thank them for allowing me or helping me and supporting me to do this. So, and look forward to getting to know the whole community even better. So thank you so much.
Okay, I'd like to invite the incumbent council members to add any comments they may have. We'll start on my right with Jamie Murphy.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I'll be very quick because I know it's a lot of speeches tonight. I want to start by thanking Greg for his years of service. It's really remarkable how he's dedicated his life to this town, and I really want to thank you. It was a pleasure working with Greg. It was a good term, so congratulations on all that hard work. GP, you taught me a ton in our 2 terms together, so thank you for that. Your dedication to the town is also really special, and you should be very proud of it, all the work that you've done. I'm excited to work with Eric and Jill. I look forward to the things that we can get done in this town. It is a unique and special community, and I think all of us up here understand that, and that's why we're here, and that's why we're working hard for everyone in town, everyone in this room, DPW, the police, everybody. So, as always, I'm proud to be a part of this team, and I look forward to another year of getting some things done. Thank you so much.
Councilman John Sweeney.
I have to apologize. I have to write these things down, otherwise I won't remember them. And the typeface on my notes gets bigger and bigger every year, too. Just Happy New Year, everyone. I look forward to working with everyone up here on the dais to keep PEAPACK Gladstone one of the best towns in New Jersey. Jill and Eric, welcome aboard. I'm confident you'll be up to speed in no time at all. And if you have any questions, you have plenty of good role models right up here, and I'd like to actually express my thanks to them. Don, you had a great year. You kept a watchful eye on Liberty Park for all of us. Probably kept us out of a lawsuit. Thank you. Amy, you did a great job steering the borough logo, managing HR, which is a job nobody, I think, wants, because that's where the headaches are, and overseeing the promotion of a new DPW super. Amy and Don were both invaluable in managing our PBA negotiations this year, which included the hiring of a new labor attorney, as well as going to arbitration, which was new ground that we broke this year. Jamie, I thank you for ensuring that our open space committee is vibrant and leveraging our open space funds to obtain the best values as well. This has really just been a very exciting 4 years from an open space perspective, because we had a number of years where we weren't able to do it, or we didn't have any accomplishments, and now they're cascading, so thank you. Mark, you kept a close eye on borough finances and affordable housing for as long as I've been back up here, and I wish you all the luck in the world as mayor. GP, we honor you for your years of service tonight, and I applaud your efforts to lower our electric bills in town, and I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge that it's not going to be the same without your data-driven analysis. Lastly, to our outgoing mayor, I've known you by many titles. I've called you sergeant, I've called you chief, I've called you mayor, and now I get to call you friend. Everyone, I think everyone has really said a whole lot of good things about you. Couldn't even begin to put a list together, but thank you. I'd also like to thank Chief Ferranti, Sergeant Scanlon, Corporal Duff, and Detective Caruso for their efforts this year in putting together a phenomenal presentation to bring us up to full strength with our police department. That was above and beyond the call of duty, so thank you there. And at the risk of being repetitive, I'd like to thank all of our employees and volunteers. They sacrifice their time and energy for the benefit of us all. So thank you, and I look forward to a great 2023.
Councilwoman Amy Dietrich, you're up.
Okay, thanks. Good evening, everyone. I will keep this brief because so many of the comments that have been said I share in thought and sincerity. So first of all, congratulations to the outgoing members of our council and mayor, and incoming in a different role and incoming in council member roles. I really look forward to working with everyone up here on the dais. As I reflect on everything we've discussed, nothing up here happens as one person. It's always a discussion. It's always a group effort of expertise and knowledge and perspective. And I really look forward to continuing that in our next year and throughout the rest of the terms for everyone on here to really draw from each other, because I think there's so much that we have yet to explore. It's always amazing how much we come up with as we go through our discussions of points of view, and that's really important for this community. So I think our North Star is our perspective, it's our community, it's all the things that we bring to the table every 2 weeks and in between. And I look forward to another productive year. Thanks.
Councilman Donlin.
Well, thanks, Mark. This sort of harkens me back to the first time I was going to make a big presentation in front of the board of directors, and I was scared out of my wits. And I remember somebody I trusted implicitly said to me, here's my advice: be brief, be bold, and be gone. So with that in mind, I just want to share with you that sitting on the council has been an interesting mix of frustrations and triumphs, but most of all, joy. And it's the joy in meeting members of the community and actually having a substantive part in actually helping them, as well as the joy in meeting the members of the staff and especially the volunteers. I am so impressed with the fire department, the first aid squad, and all of our professionals out there. So thank you for everything that you do. It's touched me deeply, and I'm very pleased to spend another year serving as the liaison to the fire and first aid squad starting next year. I want to recognize GP. I started on the land use board 9 years ago, and I was fourth alternate on the land use board, sort of trying the guy out. And you always impressed me with your clarity of thought with enormously complex issues, getting right to the heart of it in a matter of seconds. So I always admired and try to emulate that. And Greg, your dedication to this community has impressed me, and I can only hope to come a distant second in emulating that behavior. I also want to thank my family. My wife is here tonight for her dedication, all those evenings away from them, and during my daughter's illness, it was deeply moving. And the way that the community came to support me when my daughter was quite sick a few years back. She is in full remission now, so we're very blessed and thankful about that. And the last thing I want to say that as I look at this council, we're a shining example of how elected bodies both could and should act. And partisan politics has never come into our deliberations, and we've never taken anything anybody has said, even if they diametrically disagree with us, to heart or personally. And we've come up with solutions that are better than any one of us could have derived on our own. So for that, I thank you all, and I look forward to working with Jill and Eric and having you as part of this course.
Thank you, Don. Thank you, everyone. So now we get into the meat of our meeting. I promise it will not be too long. And then we go into a very short Board of Health meeting, and then we have a reception. So first of all, public comment section. This is for non-agenda items. If anybody has a comment they wish to address the council on, they can come up to the microphone. Please state your name and address. Please do not take more than 5 minutes, and no debating is permitted. Anybody in the audience wishes to comment publicly on non-agenda items? Seeing no one. Nancy, anyone online?
No.
Okay, very good. Let's move on. Okay, so we have a number of resolutions that we're going to read individually, and then we're going to do a consent agenda for a number of resolutions after that. There's some agendas in the back of the room in case anybody wishes to follow. Let's start with Resolution 1-23, resolution for election and appointment of council president by governing body for year 2023. May I ask if there's any nominations from the council for council president this year?
I'd ask to nominate John Sweeney for council president.
Okay. A second?
I'll second the nomination. I'm sorry, I'll defer to Jill.
All right, I'll second the nomination.
Okay, very good. Nancy, a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weigel?
Aye.
Okay. Congratulations, Council President.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, 2-23 resolution for council committee assignments for the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone, year 2023. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Nancy, roll call?
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution 3-23, resolution for employee appointments for the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone, year 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay. 4-23, resolution appointing professional service consultants for the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone, year 2023. A motion and second, please.
So
So,
moved.
second.
Okay. Amy and then John, Nancy. Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay. 5-23, resolution for mayoral appointments for the Borough, year 2023. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay. 6-23, a resolution appointing a council representative to the Land Use Board. This is a Class 3 appointment. May I have a nomination for the council representative to the Land Use Board, please?
So moved.
Actually, I
I'm
need
sorry,
a
nomination.
nomination. Or for that matter, and council members should feel free to nominate themselves if they have an interest.
I'll nominate John Sweeney.
Okay?
I'll second it.
Very good.
I'll do it.
You're good? Okay. Roll call vote, please, Nancy?
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay, 7-20-23, resolution appointing a risk management consultant. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay, 8-23, resolution for temporary appropriations for operating purposes. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay, and 9-23, a resolution for certifying payroll for payment of employees whose wages or compensation is on an hourly basis. Motion for, and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay. Next, we're going to do a consent agenda for resolutions 10-23 through 28-23. And they'll be enacted as one motion in the form listed below. Do any council members wish to either pull one of these resolutions or discuss one of these resolutions? Hearing none, a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilman Dietrich? Councilwoman Dietrich?
Yes.
Councilman Lemma?
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Sweeney?
Aye.
Councilwoman Weibel?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Now we go back to public comments. This section of public comments is for agenda items. So if any member of the public wishes to comment on any of the resolutions we just, or any of the business we just transacted, 3 minutes per person, please, no debating, and your name and address at the public microphone. Does anybody have any comments with respect to our agenda? Seeing none, Nancy, anybody online?
No.
Okay. Is there any further business amongst the council? Okay, a motion and second to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Okay, meeting's adjourned. The next meeting of the mayor and council will be held on Tuesday, January 24th at 7:00 PM. We'd ask that those in the audience indulge us while we go into a very brief Board of Health meeting to establish our Board of Health for 2023. So I'm going to call the Board of Health meeting of the Borough of PEAPACK and Gladstone to order. Nancy, would you please read the sunshine notice?
Adequate notice of this meeting of the Board of Health of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone was given to the Courier News and the Burnersville News on December 1st, 2022. Was posted at the Municipal Complex and the Borough Library. Action may or may not be taken.
Okay. John Bruder, will you please swear in the Board of Health members for for the new term?
I have.
Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Mayor, with your permission, I'll swear in.
Everybody at
all
once?
three members at once.
Perfect.
So, I'll ask you to stand though. Mayor, Eric, and Jill. If you place your left hand down and raise your right hand. And repeat after me. I state your name.
I'm Mark Orgiano.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear
Solemnly swear.
That I will support the Constitution of the United States.
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States.
And the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and the Constitution
And
of
the
the State of New
Constitution of the
Jersey,
State of New Jersey.
That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
Allegiance to the same.
And to the governments established in the United States.
and to the governments established in the United States
Established in the United States.
And in this state.
and in this state,
And in this state.
Under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And the authority of the people.
And that I will faithfully.
and that I will faithfully,
Faithfully.
Impartially.
impartially,
Partially.
And justly.
justly
And justly.
Perform all the duties.
perform all the duties
For all the duties.
Of the office of Board of Health member.
of the office of Board of
the
Health
office
member.
of Board of Health member.
So help me God.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations all.
Okay. Nancy, may I have a roll call for the Board of Health, please?
Ms. Dietrich,
Yes.
Dr. Lemma,
Yes.
Dr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Cortello,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mrs. Weigel,
Aye.
Mr. Corigliano.
Yes. Here. Okay, very good. So we're going to elect the officers for the Board of Health. May I have nominations for the Board of Health President?
I'd like to nominate Jill Weibel for Board of Health President.
Okay,
Second.
a second. Very good. Roll, any other nominations for Board of Health President? Nancy, a roll call, please.
Ms. Dietrich,
Yes.
Dr. Lemma,
Yes.
Dr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Cortello,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Yes.
Mrs. Weigel,
Aye.
Okay, congratulations, Jill.
Thank you.
Jill, are you prepared to take over the remainder of the meeting?
You just been elected president. It's your meeting.
It's my meeting now.
Why don't I read it, and why don't I read it for you? Is that okay? Would you?
All right, that would be
Okay. Nominations for the Board of Health Secretary, please.
I nominate Eric.
Okay? Second? Okay, discussion or
Just
any
quick-
other nominations?
Quick question. Last year, did we have Nancy as the Board of Health Secretary?
I was clerk to the
Clerk.
Board of Health.
Clerk to the Board of Health.
I see. Okay, all right.
Okay, any other nominations or discussion? Okay, Jill, why don't you say roll call, please?
Okay, roll call, please.
Ms. Dietrich,
Yeah,
Yes.
Dr. Lemma,
Yes.
Dr. Murphy,
Yes.
Mr. Cortello,
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney,
Aye.
Mrs. Weigel,
Aye.
and Mr. Corigliano.
yes. Okay, next I'd ask for nominations for the Board of Health Clerk of the Board.
I'll nominate Nancy Bretzker.
Second.
Second.
Okay, discussion or any other nominations, please? Okay, Jill, why don't you say roll call?
Roll call, please.
Thank
Ms.
you.
Dietrich,
Yes.
Dr. Lemma?
Yes.
Dr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mrs. Weibel?
Aye.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes. Okay, approval of minutes. May I please have a motion and a second on behalf of the Board of Health President to approve the minutes of January 4th and January 11th?
So moved.
Second.
Nancy, roll call, please. Oh, sorry, Jill, ask for a roll call.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Dietrich?
Yes.
Dr. Lemma?
Yes.
Dr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Abstain.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mrs. Weibel?
Abstain.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes. Okay. Next, we have acceptance of a health services contract with Bernards Township, including animal control officer, for the amount totaling $32,800. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Jill, roll call.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Dietrich?
Yes.
Dr. Lemma?
Yes.
Dr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mrs. Weibel?
Aye.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes. Okay, next, an acceptance of the Visiting Nurse Association of Somerset Hills contract in the amount of $3,816.80. Motion and second, please.
So moved.
Second.
All yours,
Roll
Jill.
call, please.
Thank you.
Ms. Dietrich?
Yes.
Dr. Lemma?
Yes.
Dr. Murphy?
Yes.
Mr. Curatolo?
Aye.
Mr. Sweeney?
Aye.
Mrs. Weibel?
Aye.
Mr. Juliano?
Yes. Okay, any further business for the Board of Health? Okay, before I ask for a motion and a second to adjourn, we have a reception afterwards in a few minutes, so please stay around, everyone. Motion and a second to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you all very much.